My brother-in-law called this morning crying and said that their entire house had been swept away. 3 family members were rescued, but his brother is still missing.
I saw around 9 trucks being swept away by the floods, including people. It's a heartbreaking incident. I've been teaching here for 18 years, and I've never seen anything like this here before.
When I reached Dunga Bazaar, in half an hour the flood came and damaged all the market. People were preparing to go to office then. How many people are missing or dead, we don't know.
It came in suddenly and exploded like a bomb. The river looked small from distance, but it suddenly started overflowing and swept through this place.
Warning systems failed, and then the valleys echoed with screams. A scene of devastation and destruction. Himalayan horror captured on camera. Nepal flood fury is a reminder of the region's acute climate vulnerability, hundreds missing and scores dead, and the rescue teams are racing against time. I'm Kripa, and this is Inside South Asia. Our top focus remains on this human tragedy that has shocked the world. An animation shows the Himalayan border region between Nepal and Tibet tracing the possible path of an ice rock avalanche believed to have triggered catastrophic flooding. Using pre-event imagery, the animation highlights the mountainous area northeast of the Rasuagadi border crossing, where authorities believe a mass of ice, rock and debris collapsed and moved through the region before unleashing a debris-filled flood downstream. The cause of the disaster remains under investigation. Look at these images of the region before and after. So what exactly happened? Up next, we tell you how the tragedy unfolded in the Himalayan region.
The river suddenly changes character. What was once a powerful mountain stream becomes an unstoppable wall of water. It tears through roads. It rips apart bridges. It throws vehicles and debris downstream. Buildings disappear beneath the surge. In some of the most disturbing visuals from Tibet, people can be seen desperately trying to run for their lives at the Girong port before the water suddenly explodes through the area and sweeps everything away. A massive concrete slab is carried by the torrent as it smashes into a bridge with terrifying force. This is the destruction left behind by the Bote-Koshi River in Nepal's Rasuwa district. On Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. local time, water surged in from the Tibetan side. Villages, vehicles, bridges and major infrastructure were hit. Around 42 kilometers of the road connecting Nuwakot to the Rasuvagadi border crossing have been washed away or severely damaged. Multiple concrete bridges have also collapsed, and there is growing fear for hundreds of travelers. Nearly 400 people heading towards Tibet for the Kailash Mansarovar pilgrimage were left out of contact.
This is the one festival is coming, is full moon also in Nepal and India celebrate. So for that, so many Hindu pilgrims, they were on their travel. So those people also affected in Nepal side, and even for the Tibet also, they are traveling for the full moon purpose.
The preliminary list includes 291 foreign nationals and 93 Nepalese nationals. Among the foreign travelers are 105 Indians, along with nationals from the US, Britain, Australia, Malaysia, the Netherlands and South Africa. Scientists are examining the possibility of an ice avalanche, which could have been caused by a glacial collapse in the Tibetan region.
The height where we are assuming that ice was broken is about 5,200 meters from the sea level, and then the vertical drop of almost 1,200 meters, and then again the ice might have melted during that drop, and then again it carried several amounts of tons of sediments in that low parts, and then again there was another vertical drops all the way to the rivers.
And the danger does not stop at Nepal. The Bote-Koshi originates in Tibet, flows through Nepal and joins the Trishuli system before the river enters India as the Kosi. That is why Bihar is now watching the river system closely. The Himalayan disaster has now become a regional warning. One river, 3 countries, and a wall of water that showed just how quickly nature can turn deadly. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
India has stepped up efforts as hundreds are missing in Nepal floods. Emergency items include temporary shelters, blankets, hygiene kits, solar lamps and medicines, and more relief supplies will be sent in the next few days as well.
The assistance that we have provided, as you would have seen through the releases that have been put out by us, 2 aircraft with humanitarian assistance have been sent to Kathmandu. A C-130J aircraft took off yesterday at around 8:30 p.m. carrying 10 tons of relief material, including temporary shelters, blankets, hygiene kits, solar lamps, medicines, etc. And then this morning, a C-17 aircraft departed with 37.5 tons of supplies. In total, across the 2 departures by air, India has sent 47.5 tons of emergency relief supplies aimed at supporting Nepal's ongoing rescue and relief operations.
From ravaging floods in Nepal to a hospital fire tragedy in Pakistan's capital, it seems to be a week of unfortunate incidents in South Asia. Early on the 26th of August, at least 40 newborn babies died in a fire at a state-run hospital in Islamabad. The Wednesday's tragedy, among the deadliest hospital fires in recent years, has brought the focus back on poor safety laws and building codes, as well as lax enforcement in Pakistan. Our next report gets you more details.
The Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences, or PIMS, is one of the biggest hospitals in Pakistan's capital, with 156 beds in its maternal and child health unit. Early on Wednesday, a fire broke out on the third floor of the mother and child unit at the state-run hospital. The newborn babies in the ward were either in incubators or hooked on oxygen equipment. It is to be noted that oxygen is not flammable on its own, but it can accelerate a fire, making materials burn hotter and faster. Reportedly, an air conditioning unit caught fire, which soon spread, killing 14 of the 15 babies who were in the ward at the time. Chaotic and harrowing scenes were described by eyewitnesses at the hospital, including intense smoke and broken glass, with some complaining that rescuers were slow to respond.
At around 5:45 or 6 in the morning, we heard about 10 to 15 very loud explosions. We were sleeping outside in the hospital's porch. At first, I thought perhaps they were firing a ceremonial salute for Rabi al-Awwal because they sometimes fire cannon salutes, so I assumed that was what the sound was. About 10 minutes later, my brother-in-law went upstairs and called us from there, saying that the ward upstairs was on fire. We immediately ran upstairs. We didn't even have shoes on. When we reached upstairs, we couldn't get as far as the ward because it was completely filled with smoke. We couldn't see anything ahead, and it was becoming difficult to breathe.
Fortunately, 7 other babies, 2 men and 10 mothers were rescued from elsewhere in the hospital. According to Pakistan's Minister of State for Interior, Talal Chaudhry, some families recognized their deceased babies through their wristbands, while others could only identify them based on their ages. Some of the babies were only 3 hours old. An inconsolable Javeria, who lost her infant in the blaze, said the door to the neonatal intensive care unit was locked and lambasted what she said was a slow response from emergency services.
They arrived after 2 hours. For 2 hours, I kept crying and wailing. Then, these people broke into the ward from here. Rescue team arrived too late. Police arrived after 4 hours and said they are here to investigate. To hell with you, rescue team and police. Babies burned to death there, but nobody could save them. What did they go to get downstairs, leaving the children alone? The door of NICU was locked. I do not believe this. Give me my child back. My demand is, I want justice. Why were the doctors not caught by the same fire? Why did the doctors leave the children there? 1 nurse, 1 doctor, 1 gynecologist, 1 pediatrician. There was nobody in the entire ward. Why were they not there?
Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, who chaired a high-level meeting on hospital fire, expressed deep anger, called for an investigation and sacked Health Secretary Aslam Ghori, the country's top civil servant for the department. Talal Chaudhry, addressing the media outside the hospital, said that authorities would launch a probe and that the bodies of the 14 babies had been handed over to their parents.
Immediately after this rescue operation, all the evidence based on which, in the coming days, the inquiry team will investigate and reach a conclusion, and the process of punishment and accountability will then begin, and alongside that, whatever changes are required in planning to prevent such incidents in the future.
Taking note of the tragedy, the United Nations Children's Agency, UNICEF, said it was deeply saddened by the deaths and called for an urgent review and strengthening of fire prevention and safety standards across health facilities. In Pakistan, where safety laws and building codes are not adhered to strictly, fires in large buildings are frequent. In January, more than 65 people were killed in a shopping centre fire in the port city of Karachi. Though the government healthcare is subsided, the facilities are under-resourced and more often than not, overburdened. Watchdogs have time and again criticized the state-run facilities as mismanaged. Tragically, the unfortunate death of 40 newborn babies is yet another grim reminder of the issues Pakistan needs to address rather urgently.
Pakistan has not missed an opportunity to emphasize its role as a mediator in the US-Iran peace negotiations. Early this week, Pakistan's Army Chief Asim Munir was in Tehran trying to revive the stalled peace talks. Back at home, though, the situation is unraveling in not quite favorable terms. One of Pakistan's most influential politicians, the president of Jamiat Ulema-e-Islam, Maulana Fazlur Rehman, on the 24th of August delivered a sharp rebuke to Asim Munir. Questioning the Pakistani army, he reminded the nation of the humiliation Pakistan endured in 1971, further warning that the country could face yet another division. His remarks appear to point towards growing unrest and anger over the military's repression from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to the restive provinces of Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Our next report gets you more details.
सब कुछ खत्म हो चुका है और वो कहते हैं नहीं जिंदा है।
The 1971 war with India remains one of the darkest chapters in Pakistan's military history. A time of deep humiliation for Islamabad. The pain and shame of that defeat is compounded each time the nation is reminded of it. Maulana Fazlur Rehman, a prominent religious and political leader, has now reopened this old wound with his recent criticism of Field Marshal Asim Munir. Addressing a JUI-F convention in Peshawar, the Jamaat-e-Ulema-e-Islam chief questioned the military's leadership, the chest-thumping and grand claims at a time when ordinary Pakistanis are enduring immense hardship. Fazlur Rehman criticized Munir by recalling how in December 1971, the Pakistan army had surrendered to India just one day after the then President Yahya Khan had vowed to fight to the end. The 13-day war concluded with the surrender of roughly 93,000 Pakistani troops in Dhaka, leading to the loss of East Pakistan and the creation of Bangladesh. By drawing a direct, sharp parallel between the military's promises and subsequent capitulation in 1971 and Asim Munir's current posture, Rehman questioned why the public continues to bear the burden while the establishment, in his view, remains indifferent. He went further, warning that continued oppression and violence could once again reshape the region's political and territorial map. But this is not the first time he has targeted the Pakistan Army Chief. Last month, he accused the army of abandoning its own soldiers during the 1919 Kargil War and using their sacrifices to shield itself from criticism. In a scathing attack, Rehman had told Munir to take care of his uniform if he wanted to influence Pakistan's politics. The comments triggered controversy and were followed by multiple cases being filed against him. However, his latest criticism lands at a politically sensitive moment, coming just as Munir's authority and powers have expanded dramatically. Last week, Pakistan enacted a defense law granting the army chief sweeping powers over military personnel.
This includes the authority to retire, discharge, or retain officers and to amend retirement rules. The legislation comes on the heels of the 27th Constitutional Amendment passed in November last year, which has recognized Pakistan's military command structure and further strengthened the position of the army chief. Also, Rehman's remarks mark a significant shift for a politician who has spent decades operating within Pakistan's civil-military framework. As the leader of one of the country's largest Devbandi Islamist parties, he has long managed a complex, often cooperative relationship with the military establishment. The lambasting coincides with the protests that have jolted Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Following demonstrations in Pak-occupied Kashmir, unrest has gained momentum in Sindh province as well. Political groups have taken to the streets against proposals for new provinces and development projects they claim threaten the region's land, water and natural resources. Activists allege that more than 100 Sindhi political activists are currently missing or are being held by Pakistan's security and intelligence agencies. These recent developments on the home front are threatening to spiral out of control if not addressed soon. Even as Asim Munir tries to play the role of mediator abroad, growing unrest at home tells a different story. Pakistan wants to project stability and influence overseas, but rising tensions within the country suggests that its biggest challenges may be closer to home and it would do well to address those first.
On the 22nd of August, hundreds of rowers participated in the iconic snake boat race in India's southern Kerala state. Around 20 wooden boats, 100 foot long and powered by about 100 rowers each, chopped through backwaters in a magnificent display of strength and perfect coordination to compete for the most prestigious Nehru Trophy. Also, Kerala celebrated Onam this week. Take a look at these visuals as we wrap up this edition of Inside South Asia.
No matter what your day throws at you, stay in the spa state of mind with the Kohler Spa at home.
In West Asia, every move shifts the world's balance. Wars, ceasefires, alliances. Power never stands still. Because what happens in West Asia never stays in West Asia. This is the West Asia Post.
No matter what your day throws at you, stay in the spa state of mind with the Kohler Spa at home.
The architecture of war is changing. Geography is no longer a shield. The battlefield now stretches from sea to space. Meet the veterans, industry stalwarts, and innovators.
No matter what your day throws at you, stay in the spa state of mind with the Kohler Spa at home.